Hello everybody, how are you? It's Lou Collins. We've had some gremlins already this morning, which is wonderful, or this afternoon. So, but at least we're here, we're live. Hopefully all's going well. Facebook just didn't like us wanting to connect tonight. How are you all? It feels like forever since I've been here. I had last week off and I've jumped in and now Sam's off and I feel a little bit like I've lost my left leg because it's just like I'm on my own. I've got no one to bat off and call in the morning and such. So yeah, how are you all doing? Have you had a lovely week so far? Hello to everybody. I'm just going to start calling some. Oh, you haven't got my face today. I'm sorry, not feeling it. You don't want to see this. It's been. I can't even find my makeup. Can't even find my makeup in the house. I'd moved house while I was off, and yeah. Hello, Terry. Good morning from Texas. Wow, you're up early. Hello to Rachel as well. Yeah, love these already. These are brilliant. I'll talk you through these in just a moment. Hello to Debbie. Let me see, lots of you watching, lovely, thank you so much for joining me. So we're looking at perfect gatefolds today. Now unfortunately the postman didn't want to bring Sam samples to me on time. I know she posted them earlier this week and they didn't arrive, so what I'm going to do as soon as they do get to me, I know Sam's made some beautiful cards using these dies, so I'll take some photos of those and share them with you, as will CraftStash anyway. Yes, Debbie, thank you. The move went really well. Linda, refreshed? Absolutely not. Hello, Sandra. First time watching. Lovely seeing you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, absolutely not refreshed. Thank you for asking, or for saying so anyway. Perfect gatefolds. Now these are really super quick cards. You can make them really beautiful. You can make them for lots of different occasions. A kind of a bit of a take on the very popular perfect flips that we had, where you opened the card and the image in the middle, so the heart, the butterfly, whatever, it's flipped out. So a little bit of a take on that, excuse the pun, but a bit of a spin on that. So these are your gatefolds. They come with all the mats and layers as well, and we've got different card shapes and sizes. So with these, they're around £18 something if you're not a VIP. Obviously, if you're a VIP, you get your 10% off as well. But then you've also got a set in here that we're doing as a bundle with 25% off, and you've got the details just here. I've got to get used to this again. Got to get used to my lefts and my rights being backwards and such. You've also got a paper packing with this beautiful rainbow ombre papers. We'll come to those in just a moment. So let's run through the size. Evening from Sydney, Donna. Hello, how are you? Yeah, really enjoyed my new home. Absolutely love it. Move went well. Thank you so much. The perfect flips were great for quick and easy cards, Debbie. Absolutely. And Christine, you love that you get the mats and layers too. Exactly. This is what makes it so quick and easy, because everything's in one set for you. So we've got the heart, first of all. I'm going to just show you one that I quickly put together. So this is what they are. So they're gatefolds with a really pretty aperture rather than just a circle or such. We've got heart, star, butterfly, and is that the three? There's another one. We'll come to it in a moment. We'll come to it in a minute. So we've got the 5x7 heart here. I will be demonstrating this one. I'll do this one first, actually. I really like this. So as you can see, you've got a really good size dies there. You're going to be needing your larger format die cutting machine. So you've got your card base, you've got all the score lines you need, then you've got all of your mats and layers. You've actually got two lots of mats and layers, which is something that a lot of companies don't do. Creative craft products very often do. I need to avoid saying do, because if you've ever seen that Friends sketch where he says do at the job interview, yeah, makes me laugh. So what creative craft products do really well is that they give you two layers of the mats and layers. So you can either have yourself a really big fat frame around your mats, or you can have nice slim ones and stack them and have two. And I think that just gives you more options for strengthening your card, but also adding lots of colours, because sometimes we just can't choose. So you can see you've got lots of additional extras. You've actually got stitch detail in the layers too, which is lovely. Here's the star. So the star is actually a 5x5, so a 5" by 5". So this is a square one. But of course with the heart, for example, flower was the other one. With the heart, you can actually trim this down afterwards if you want to. You'll have to adjust the bottom of your mats and layers, but you can trim this down to make this into a square shape if you prefer that, rather than 5x7. So we've got the star there. Each of these does come with a nice small sentiment in it as well, but we'll come to some larger sentiments in a moment. And then you've got your A6, so slightly smaller than your 5x7, and this is the flower A really nice 6-petal flower, nice and simple, elegant but simple. But of course you can build on that, because if you layered these up, you could build yourself a really nice 3-dimensional flower in the centre there that sort of peeks out through the aperture. So again, you can trim this down if you want to. And then we've got the butterfly, which, as I say, a simple version here, very, very simple. I just did some ink blending for one of the mats and layers, popped it onto a solid coloured cardstock base, and from what I cut out, I then cut the sentiment, so you've got the ombre sentiment in the middle. Kept it really, really simple just to show you the idea with these. Like I say, sadly, Sam did some beautiful cards for me to show this week, as she's off this week and I was off last week, so she sort of did the preparation for me, and unfortunately they just didn't turn up in time, so really sad about that, but we will get sharing those. You also see online there's some beautiful cards on the CraftStash website if you want more inspiration with these, and I'm going to show you a few in a moment actually that the team have sent over to me. So this is the butterfly one, your mats and layers in there, your smaller and larger butterflies, and make a wish is your sentiment. Then this all comes as well with the option of adding in your wrap. So if you've got something like a gatefold that's likely to pop open, putting a wrap around the outside is a really lovely way of keeping it all neat and enclosed. Alternatively, you can use these on envelopes, you can use them on boxes, you can just use them on any card. If you want to make this into more of a gift card and put some money inside or something like that, you can use these then. And then inside here, what I really love these for is actually the sentiments. They're much, much larger than you see on there. Let's just see if we can get some of these out. I've kept everything inside the plastic bag. So you've got your 2 different shaped wraps. So you've got your straight edge and you've got your scalloped edge there, and then you've got 2 additional pieces. These are actually, if you want score lines to be added in, so you can do your own score lines, but these are just adding in additional score lines for you if you prefer to do it that way. You just pop them in when you're die cutting and that will score those for you. And these are, for me, the best part. Let's just grab these out. So we've got, first of all, we've got 2 kind of mats here, an oval and a rectangle. They would all get tangled up, wouldn't they? Okay, there's a straight edge one and a stitched edge one, and they house these words beautifully. So you can see the size of them. You've got the word hello there, and you've got the word love, really nice and big and bold. I would love to do some ink blending on that and then do some clear embossing over the top to make them glossy, and they're big enough to do that because you can really get hold of them while you're working with them. And slightly smaller, we've got the word thanks as well there, and then we've got congrats too, again slightly smaller again, but all a similar width, so they're going to fit inside your frames, but they're obviously larger if they've got fewer letters, because they could be. So pop all those aside because there's one more item I need to show you. There we go, and it's the rainbow ombre pad. Now this is 8x8. Of course it works with the perfect gatefolds, but it's going to also work with lots of other things as well. You've got red, orange, yellow, you've got all the colours of the rainbow, but I mean, look at these, they're absolutely stunning. I'd be using those across so many different occasions, so many different projects. Because they're 8x8, they're going to suit all your card fronts. They die cut perfectly for your mats and layers for this, and I will use them on one of the cards I'm doing today. But I really think this is something that's worth you popping into your basket, whether or not you're purchasing the perfect gatefolds. Pop them in, and then next time you check out, hopefully they'll still be there, because I mean, if you look at this, for example, I don't know how's best for me to do this. I want to show you, if you look at just the top, you've got the pastel colours, really beautiful, nice soft pale colours, so you could just use those. If I just flip this around to the darker side, then you've got your really bold, bright colours. So you really have got the option of all of these within one pad, and because they're not patterned, you can really team them with absolutely any theme that you're doing. Okay, so that's all that's brand new today. We have had some other items that have been launched recently on the CraftStash website under the Creative Craft Products brand, particularly the mini sentiments. If you haven't seen those, they're really, really gorgeous. They launched while I was off last week, I believe. So I haven't got my hands on them, which I'm really sad about. So I'm going to now order them. But they are some beautiful sentiments that would actually sit really nicely with these. So take a look at those. They're sort of a nice handwritten, almost font or brush font. Lovely size dies, and they're just perfect for generic crafting. I'm going to say hello. What GSM is the paper? That is a good point, Carla. I didn't check. I haven't checked, so it's going to have to be a guess. Oh, it's 190. Good guess. I thought it'd be written on there, and I couldn't see it at first. Yeah, 190 GSM. So it's heavyweight paper. I wouldn't go as far as saying it might be. Yeah, almost a cardstock. It's heavyweight paper. It's definitely made more for your mats and layers. It wouldn't be for your construction cards. Sue Vincent, hello to you. And Lisa, definitely going to get some of these to add to your stash. Lovely quick cards. They are. They're super, super quick. Okay, let's get started. Now, I've actually decided or opted not to go for the ombre papers first of all. I'm going to go with some other pattern papers I had. But then my second card is going to be. Now, this is probably going to be a really quick live, to be honest, because... oh, there you go. You've got a sneak peek of the second. I'm going to be using the purple on my second card, so let's pop that away. It's going to be a really, really quick live because these are just super, super quick cards. Let me see. I don't want to miss any comments. I'm terrible at that. Rachel loves the papers. Michelle, yeah, lovely big dies. They are big dies. You're going to need your A4 cutting plate for these. They're bigger than expected, absolutely. Yeah, the words are huge, aren't they? Love the butterfly one. Yes, so the butterfly is gorgeous. You can imagine with this, if you've got other butterfly dies, you could actually put a really detailed butterfly die. So you'd need it slightly smaller in the middle, just stuck down in the body so the wings will come out. But you can also do that with the dies that are inside the set, but that will be a solid butterfly rather than a detailed one. But do you know what? There's so many butterfly stamps and dies on the market. You have fun placing different shapes inside there. So I'm going to work first of all with the heart one. I think I chose for this. Which is this one. So this is a 5x7. Let's just pop this to the side. I'm going to pop this somewhere and I'm going to lose it. So I will put them to the side. Hopefully there I won't knock them off my desk. I feel a bit out of practice. I don't know if any of you do that when you have a little bit of time off work or from doing something. And then you go back to it and think, oh, I've forgotten what to do here. I've forgotten how to go live. I haven't forgotten how to craft, never that. Forgotten how to go live. The papers I've actually chosen, only because I noticed there's a handful of these left in stock, and I really wanted to use them with this heart, is some from my textures range. So this is the Floral Script. It's a really old collection. I say really old, it was like one of maybe my 4th or 5th collection, something like that. But I've still got a very small handful of the papers left. So I thought I'll bring them in. I've actually not got my favourite paper of all of them left in my pad. I've run out and I can't get any more now. Not without having to buy a whole nother pack just for those. So I'm using different ones today, which is actually good. It's bringing me out of my comfort zone and not using my go-to papers from the pack. So one thing I've been doing a lot lately, and I don't know if any of you do this regularly or whether it's just me, but actually making my card bases from a coloured cardstock. And I mean, for this one, I used the teal for the base, and then I actually just used plain white for the matte and layer, which is different, but it really makes everything pop. So then when I did my ink blending for the third layer on top, that really, really pops against the white. So yeah, I've really found that by using a coloured cardstock for my card base, it actually kind of makes my card feel a little more luxurious and adds a little bit of interest. So a very, very simple die, the bases. It doesn't need anything like your metal shims. It doesn't need a lot of pressure. I'm just going to pop this. I've got my machine just off to the side here. I'm using my Big Shot Plus today, so I will manually be doing this. Let's just see if I can. I'm just going to move my computer screen. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to. There we go. Yeah, look, Tracy Ann loves Gatefold cards. Yeah, as do I. I think they're great. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn, I saw you were online at some ridiculous time this morning. I don't know when it was. You commented on something. I don't know, early hours of the morning. I'm sure it was you. And I thought, wow, she's either up early or not quite gone to bed yet. The ink blending. Oh, let me see. I've just missed a comment. The ink blending looks really good. Mine isn't even like that. Just Keep working at it. It's practice with ink blending. Have you got blending brushes? I use the Creative blending brushes, which is these ones. They're a little bit dirty now, but yeah. And they give me perfect blending every time. And I tend to go for more colours and blend them through. Make sure you overlap your colours as much as possible. So I need to do an entire live just on ink blending because it's very, very popular at the moment. Let me see, how's Ramos liking his new home? Thank you. Yes, my dogs have settled in beautifully to their new home. Thank you very much. I was surprised actually because the last time we moved home, which was just for the last 12 months, we moved from one house to another that was very, very similar on the same, well, only a couple of roads away. So the layout of the house was the same and everything, and they settled in fine. They did. I don't think they even realised we'd moved. We kept all the furniture in the same place so as not to confuse them. And then this time we've moved completely differently, completely different house. And we thought it would set him back. So for anyone watching, I'm just having a private conversation with Carla there. Ramos, my dog, is a rescue from Spain. I've had him a few years now, a couple of years now, but he is still a very much a nervous dog. But yeah, he's settled absolutely brilliantly and he loves the house, and he's decided he is going to bark at not the neighbours, but at people passing by. So he's already starting to protect us in our new home. So I'm just going over the score lines here with the bone folder just to crease those a little bit. I mean, that's lovely. Do you know what? This would make a lovely, I know we've just passed Valentine's, but masculine Valentine's cards. I've got the deep colour there and you can really see how you could use that for other themes, not just sort of girly pretty if you wanted to. But yes, thank you, Carla. Both settled in really well, as has my mum's cat, who we are still a couple of years later looking after. She settled in quicker than the dogs, I think. It reminds me, actually, I'd be interested to know, cat or dog person? Lots of people seem to be one or the other. Linda, just order the blending brushes. They're brilliant, aren't they? Oh, right, is that Raquel? Ramos is one of the names in my family. I was confused. Ramos is our dog. Named after a footballer, I believe. I didn't name him. So you have your mats and layers with this. I should put them the right way around to show you. There we go. There's one. There's the other. And you'll notice they actually get slimmer. So this is going to be your top layer, slightly smaller. You can obviously lay them on top of each other to work out which goes which. The very top layer has a straight edge. The bottom layer has a stitched edge detail. So I'm going to use this lovely lilac cardstock. In fact, if I do it this way and put them as close together as possible, a little bit of tape I've been using for a while now is from the Creative brand again, same Creative Craft products. It's the low tack tape, and that's an absolute bargain. I'm sure it's still in stock at the moment, should be, but we do get lots and lots in. It's very popular, but it's perfect and it just holds my dies still time and time and time again. So I'm going to cut these ones from a lilac, and the way I've chosen my colours is simply by just looking at my pattern paper. So I tend to choose my pattern paper first and then choose my coloured cardstock, so the solid cardstock after that. Unless, of course, I'm doing something like ink blending, but I'd still do the ink blending first, then choose any solid colours after and work it that way. So if I just pop these out, it sounds like there's a lot of pressure in my machine. I don't think I've got any additional plates in there. So my choices were from this one, so this sort of polka dot colour. So I've chosen the dark green to match the dark green, the lilac to match the lilac. And if I wanted to, I could go with something like a gold. So this is supposed to mimic gold or satin gold in there. But we shall see where we go with that later. I might just do a nice bright white to really lift that. Now, what I love is that if you're careful with positioning your dies, you actually get this left over, which, you know, it could be actually trimmed out and put on. If nothing else, you've got a nice large heart there that you can use. So I can see that being something like on the front of a shaker card. You know those full shakers that you do? So the entire card front is kind of a shaker, so just put some acetate behind there, foam tape around it and have shakers. That would be really cool. So well worth checking your excess before you pop it in the bin, which I'm sure as crafters many of you wouldn't actually throw that in the bin. Yeah, we've got lots of dogs, dog person. Oh, Raquel, she once moved and the cat leaped out of the car window. Wow, loyalty was to the town and not you. Oh, do you know what? Our cat, I was very surprised. She actually escaped out of the door while we were moving, because of course you move and you have all the doors open, don't you? People bringing boxes in for you and things. We moved more on one day than any other day, and we brought her over and the dogs over, and we were trying to keep her in, and she got out. But straight away she came back. She had a sniff round, then she came back, and I was watching her. She's got a huge garden, and she doesn't really go out of the garden, so yeah, fingers crossed it will stay that way. Mind you, she did discover we've got a dormer roof today, and I'd had the windows open this morning. Hasn't it been lovely weather in the UK? A bit nippy, but lovely. I had those windows open and she noticed, and I thought, oh, it's not going to be long before she's out of there. Now I'm just going to position these so that they are similar, as in I've got like the edges of dots in the right sort of place. There we go. I think that will kind of work. I might need a new bit of tape. Let's see if this will sit there. So just at the top and bottom, just making sure that I've got about a third of the dot left or overlapping, and the same on this end. That's all I was really sort of looking for, and similar on the sides, not too much. So pop this one back through, and then we'll put this card together. There we go. So Easter's coming up. How quickly has this year gone already? Do you celebrate it? Do you have plans for it? I'd be interested to know actually, because Easter, like many of the occasions that we have, whether it's religious or not, have become more and more commercialised now, and I see so many people saying they're having Easter parties and things like that. I thought, would we have done that years ago? So again, there's another one you could use. I'm not sure. So what are your Easter plans, everybody? Let me know. Lots and lots of people saying dog persons. She mentioned the base will need, yes, Jane. Sorry, I missed your comment, but Raquel just answered for you. Yeah, Jane, you do need your sort of A4 cutting machine plate for these ones. For the, let me see, for the ones that are square, which is the 5x5, you can get that through your normal size sort of Big Shot if you've got the extendable plates. Otherwise you'd need to sort of turn it over and recut it again. Make sure you tape it down. So that one is possible to go through a smaller machine. The others, you're going, because of the width of them, you're going to need your bigger plates. So I've got an A4 Big Shot here. So use my creative glue. Now I could use foam tape on these and get lots of dimension, but I think with the wrap I'm quite happy for this to lay flat, because I could wrap it all closed. So putting that lilac down first. Looks a little bit odd with the solid shapes with the green and purple. I actually had my bedroom coloured green and purple once, painted, not coloured. We got a decorator in. My dad didn't have time to do it, so we got a decorator in, and they both stood there and said, "You sure you want these two colours?" I was like, "Yep, those two colours," and I made them do a wave shape between the two colours as well. So the top half, I think the top half was the purple and the bottom half was the green, but it wasn't as dark a green as this. It was much, much lighter, more of a teal green. But yeah, I loved it. I'm not sure how long it lasted. It's a shame really, because if I remember rightly, before that I actually had some lovely Laura Ashley wallpaper, which I didn't appreciate because I was very young. It would be nice to see that now. There we go. So you see how those colours just work really nicely together. And you've got that lovely heart aperture, which you haven't got to worry about any measuring or scoring. Pop this one on as well, just like so. There we go. Now inside here, you can leave that plain. You have got the additional smaller dies here, so if you want to pop a heart inside there, you can do. I'm going to put pattern paper inside, I think, just as a bit of difference, a bit of extra pattern in there. So I'll need to cut this down. Now, as usual, I don't tend to mark my paper with a pencil. I tend to mark it with a pokey tool. It's not always easy to see where I've marked it. It's easier to actually see on the reverse where I've marked it instead, but it just means I haven't got to worry about then, oh, I'm going to drop things. I'm just trying to get my trimmer out from a pile. it's easier for me to see, and I haven't got to worry about pencil lines being rubbed out afterwards. Sam and I have decided we both do this. We both start talking about something without thinking what you're actually talking about. We go off on one. So if I just turn this over, I can see I've got my line on there. I was saying to someone the other day, actually, these trimmers are brilliant because I think it's one of the only trimmers on the market of this particular style where you can buy the replacement blades from CraftStash as well. So let's put that up there so I can get to it again. So if the blade starts, I mean, I've had mine, I haven't changed my blades yet. It's now starting to feather. I've probably had that a year, so that's really good. And I use it a lot. But I've got some replacement blades that I bought at the same time. And yeah, now I'm probably ready to change them. It's really easy. You just click them off and click them in to change the blades. Super simple. And I love that you've got a scoring blade with that trimmer as well. So pop that on there. Got the lovely heart aperture. We've got the detail inside as well. Now, I would like to put a word inside. I'm probably going to do a wrap on the next card. So let's just pop these away. Let's have a look. Still lots of dog people. Love the spotty paper. Thank you, Anita. So, oh, you'll be working. Oh, well, I'd say that's a shame, but some people absolutely love their jobs, don't they? So whether you're working or not, I hope you get to eat some chocolate. Carol doesn't celebrate it, not religious, and everything's far too commercial. Yeah, it's getting more and more commercialised, isn't it? We just get chocolate for the kids, really. That's it. That's all we do. Sometimes we'll have lamb on a Sunday, but that's sort of a family tradition thing. More than anything, we can't afford lamb any other time of day, any other time of year. Lamb's got quite pricey. So what I'm going to do now is take a look at the words that are in with the wraps, because I'm thinking I'd like a nice word to sit. Love springs to mind. Love would be perfect to go in here. Just grab that. I think that's going to be a bit big, so I could put it inside. I think I might need to put it inside there and just have it inside like so. So pop that away. Now I could do this as I could do it as a wrap, couldn't I? I could do the wrap on this one. Let's do that. I was just thinking. So I've actually already cut one of the wraps. Let's just check this one does fit. So I've done it from parchment. Yes, it fits around there quite nicely actually. So I've just done this from parchment because then I can put that over the top of the heart. Yeah, like that idea. I love crafting with you because you sort of see my process. So I've got this parchment that I cut a little while ago. I'm just going to adjust it and pinch it at the edges to make sure it's the perfect width for this card and see what's the overlap. So there's the overlap. So if I just put a little dab of glue there, again I'm using the creative glue, and the trick with vellum or parchment is not to use too much because it'll just take too long to dry and cling. So let's just, I'm going to pop a pair of scissors on that, allow that to dry. Hopefully that's heavy enough actually. I think it'll be heavy enough while I die cut the word love for a moment. And that way I can have the word love, and it will be really nice because it will peek out over the top of the heart, but it's removable. So I haven't got to think about, oh, I need my scissors. Let's use my little scissors. There we go, scrap papers. So I haven't got to think about, is that love going to fit inside the heart because it will sit over the top. Now I'm going to cut 2 of these from the cardstock to make it really sort of chunky. It's probably a nicer word, nice and thick and solid. That's not really any better, is it? Obviously today, this week, there is no Friday live. We have Good Friday, so if you're not in the UK, we've got our bank holiday. I don't know if you do anywhere, wherever you are in the world, but we've got our bank holiday on Friday. It's the only Friday of the entire year that we have a bank holiday. So yeah, we'll all be off work So we'll be bringing you our next live, which I think is going to be next Wednesday. I need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure next Wednesday is going to be the next live that we do. And because of this live today, I've not done a live on my own channel. Kind of, like I say, I'm getting back into the swing of things, and the days have completely thrown for me. I keep forgetting what day it is. I'm still living in a house where I can't find my makeup or a hairbrush. Oh, but I'll get back on track after the bank holiday. I'm sure I'll be back into the swing of things properly. Fingers crossed. Right, so I'm going to get some tweezers. I'm going to put these two together. Let's just see, how are we doing? Who needs Easter as an excuse to eat chocolate? No, exactly, Carol. I eat chocolate. I eat far too much chocolate. I've actually got a chocolate bar today for my lunch. Literally every day. And my husband will often sit there and say, fancy something sweet, I'm going to pop to the shop. And I know he'll come back with chocolate, but he can't. It's like his eyes are bigger than his belly when he goes into the shop. He can't just buy one chocolate bar and come home. He will buy 4, 5, and he'll say, well, I've had to get everyone a chocolate bar. But it's not just a little chocolate bar. It's not like a one that's a, I don't know, 80p or whatever they are. They're the big ones, the big ones, that are sort of 3 times that size. It's ridiculous, it really is. Anyway, there's my rant. You can't just buy a little bit of chocolate at a time. Okay, so I'd imagine that's probably stuck by now. So I'm just going to slide this off. Now you can leave that on the back, or if your word lines up nicely, my V would sit over the join there if I wanted it to. I think I'm going to leave that on the back and pop my love on the front. Now, obviously you've only got a thin strip for which to stick this to. So I'm going to keep my glue to the middle of the V here, of all the letters, using that wet glue. And put that on there like so. I think you'd use these wraps so much, even if they're not for wraps, like I say, to go as tags around things like wine bottles and such, if you're giving them as gifts. We've gone from chocolate to wine already. There we go. Let's just slide this on. I'm going to be careful because the glue's obviously still wet, and I don't want it all to fall apart because I'm doing this too quickly. Be very, very careful sliding that on. There we go. Slide that over, and I've got the word love over the top of my card. And obviously you can put a message inside. You could put a message on the back as well if you wanted. So a very, very quick and easy card. The biscuit bar pickup. Oh, we're still talking about chocolate. Turkish delight. Oh, Carla, I saw one in the shops there. Very, very nearly bought it. But that's the sort of thing I can't eat here because it's just the chocolate's very crumbly. It's very nice. So there's the heart one. I am going to do the star quickly as well. I'm just going to remind you of the details while I'm clearing up and getting ready. So this is the Perfect Gatefolds collection. Just launched today on CraftStash. It is exclusive to CraftStash. You can't purchase this anywhere else. And they're basically really, really quick cards. They're a bit like we had our rapid cards, we had our perfect flips, we had, was it fancy folds as well. Lots of them that we've had that are aimed at giving you really, really quick card bases that you can then embellish as much as you wish. So we've then got the butterfly and we've got the heart, which obviously is a gatefold. I've got the removable sentiment on there. I really like that. I like actually the transparency of it. And I'm now going to make a star as well. Let's see how quickly we can put this one together. The wraps are a brilliant idea. Yeah, they're really, really handy. I think with gatefolds, if you want everything to stay together, you know, if you're doing invitations, for example, or these could be table place settings, you put them on the plate. If you are doing a nice meal for everybody, or again at a wedding, and then you can have inside, you could have the menu choices and someone's name across the front on the wrap rather than the word love. You could sort of have someone's name. That'd be really nice. There's lots of alphabet stamps and dies out there. But let's do the star now. So the star is 5 by 5, so it's a smaller card. I'm going to be using the rainbow ombre. The best thing to do is get all your dies out that you want to use. I'm trying to think which ones I want to use now. I want to use those. We'll keep those in there just for now, but I will be coming back to those. I don't want to get too muddled up. So this is going to be your die. Now just make sure that your point is at the top. Okay, so this is the right way round rather than like this, which would have your point at the bottom. So I'm going to cut this again. I'm going with the coloured cardstock for a base, coloured base, so you can see sort of the size of it on an A4, which is obviously not quite letter size, or rather just a bit over letter size if you're in the US. So trim this out, and then I've got lots of excess on the side which I will keep my scraps and use that for things like if I want to do a sentiment in black, which is actually one of my go-to colours for my sentiments, black and white, very often, unless I go for gold. Oh, I've seen a lovely new metallic cardstock has been sent me from CraftStash, and I don't know when it's launching, but I'm really excited about it. It's very different. It's going to be lovely. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll be shouting about it once it's launched. I'll go and check when the date is for that. So again, we've now got to clean my plates, but I've also got the card base. All the score lines have been done for me straight away. So I can simply fold and fold. Now, I know Sam often takes her cards into her scoreboard and scores them again, just to secure them. You can absolutely do that. I find usually just popping them down and running over them with your bone folder is usually enough to make them nice and secure. Now this is brilliant, again, masculine cards, teenage cards. If you want to do something for young boys and you're not sure what they're into, if it's a new job, celebration because someone's passed, New Year's invitations, there's so much you can use stars for. Think about different colourways as well, because then you can go down the new baby route with stars too. Yeah, lots and lots that you can use this for. So I'm going with a gold. This is not the new cardstock that I was just talking about. This is just a satin gold. Couldn't even actually tell you what brand it is. It's a scrap. I'll try to use my scraps up where I can. Just going to pop these together. My poor little bit of tape. I really should think about replacing that. I've got plenty of tape, but I don't see the need at the moment to be taking more off the roll. Maybe there's a point where us crafters are just a little bit too frugal. Maybe. Such a useful shape. It really is, isn't it, Astrid? It really is. Star's brilliant. There we go. So we've now got our stars. Those mats and layers just sit absolutely perfectly on there. And I've got my star there as well, which I can reuse. So keep that to the side. And then I'm going to use this gorgeous ombre purple. Now I want to try and get as much of the ombre as possible. So rather than coming right down to the bottom, I'm going to come a little bit higher up. And I'm going to do the same. Make sure it's even on both sides. Let's get a new bit of tape out now. And pop that just on there and through the machine. So I think the purple, I'm hoping the purple with the gold and the black is going to look really lovely. That cracking is just because I'm using new dies and just hitting the plastic of the plates, which is good, so it's a good noise. Certainly never a noise to worry about. So gently peel that off because you don't want your tape to have any sort of effect. Oops. On the paper, lovely. So pop those to the side. Now where's that gold? I'm just wondering. So that star fits nicely over there, doesn't it? So you could actually use that to create yourself another card if you wanted to. You've kind of got a bit of a drop shadow effect going on there if you move it about. So yeah, I can see things coming from that later if I keep that in my scraps box. Let's pop this together. How are we doing with comments? Amanda, Good Friday and Easter Monday holidays here. Whereabouts are you, Amanda? Are you in the UK or are you somewhere else? The star's 5x5, yes. It is a 5x5 shape, so it's nice, compact. I don't want to say small because it's not a small card. It's a nice compact card. So if you're in somewhere in the world, of course, CraftStash do ship elsewhere. You've got 2 websites. You've got the UK and then you've got the .us. So choose which one sort of suits you best for the shipping options. And yeah, we'll ship. I'm pretty sure we ship everywhere in the world. There might be 1 or 2 exceptions, but I don't think there's many. And VIP as well. Don't forget VIP. Of course, I'm really out of practice. I haven't spoken about VIP for the last week, but I've just got a little mark I've put on my paper there. But you do, of course, get your 10% off if you're a VIP. So that's an additional bonus. And we've got some more offers coming out over the next few days for VIPs. I know lots of you have been picking up the offers, particularly, you know what, you seem to love glue. When I put together an offer for you with glue or adhesive, you all jump on it really quickly. Isn't it funny? Well, I suppose we as crafters, we just know, don't we? We want to stock up on the essentials. Let's pop these onto the black card base. So yeah, I will keep an eye out. I'll be trying to work out some new glue offers for you, ones you've not had before, to stock up your stash, because these offers aren't always, some of them are just for a week, some of them run forever, almost. Lots of different ones there. So this is coming together, yeah, lovely. I was really hoping the purple, the gold and the black would look pretty much like this together. Now I've got some other options within the die set. What we've got in here, you do have as well your mats and layers for inside the card. So if I wanted to go with a bit of gold for the outside and then a white on the inside, but I think what I might do, let's see what size this star is going. So that star will sit just inside there and will be, it's got a lovely stitched edge. Yeah, so that will fit inside there, and then I can do a gold. I think I've got enough gold to do a gold star on top. And then we need to think about a word, a sentiment over the top. So let's cut the gold. I'm going to take this apart from here. And I love that you have the additional icons as well, because you can use these on things like your envelopes, if you're doing a tag on a gift, for example, things like that. So do you know what? I might just do the smaller gold. I might just do the smaller gold star instead and leave the black showing through rather than introducing another colour. Let's grab this one and see what this looks like. Ooh, come on out. There we go, my tape had stuck to the plate. So of course it's a short week for many, unless of course you do need to be working over the weekend. Tomorrow is technically our Friday, so getting a bit of a Friday feeling already. There we go. I love Fridays because I usually get to do a live, and I don't tomorrow, so I might do a live on my own channel tomorrow instead. Yeah, I like that. So nice and simple with the star inside. We've actually got a little die in here. Congrats. I'm going to sneeze in a minute. I'm going to try not to sneeze, but it's wanting. Now let's do that from, I was going to go black, but I think it needs to be purple because it needs to stand out. I can do it a nice deep purple, can't I? There we go. Yeah, that's a lovely colour. So pop that on there. I mean, this is where if you've got a smaller die cutting machine on your table, on your desk, then this will just work. I'm not going to put a wrap around this one. You've seen how the wrap works already. I think I'm going to leave this one open. I like that the tape doesn't peel off the colour from the paper as well. If you've ever found before that you've put your low-tack tape on to hold something still and then it's taken the colour away from the paper. Oh yeah, that sits nicely across the middle there, doesn't it? Lovely. So did I stick that down? I didn't. So let's attach these together. Tweezers are invaluable here because it's a really tiny word. So I'm just going to hold a small part and just dabble, squeeze a tiny little blob out of the end of my glue tube here, and I'm just gently dabbing my way along. And pop that in the centre there, and then again, and close that up so that I make sure this goes down into the centre. Lovely. There we go, and then let's finish this off somewhere here, just behind. I've got my little box of goodies, and in here I have, here we go, I've got some sequins. They're quite large. I've got this is kind of all my little bits and pieces. Some of them, not all, certainly not all of them. And I have in the bottom here got some smaller, look, they've just gone everywhere, smaller sequins. So I'm going to scoop some of these out. There we go. Don't want the red and purple ones there. Let's see, let's just do 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And again, use my tweezers, or of course if you've got a pickup tool, you could use that. These are to hand, but I love my pickup tool. It's just like a pencil. If you've not seen one before, it's just like a pencil, but the lead as such inside is a bit sort of almost rubbery, and it just sticks to sequins, pearls, gems, anything like that you're sort of picking up. I've got a little bit of glue on the end of my, there we go, a little bit of glue on the end of my tweezers now, and that just picks these up anyway. So there we go. So there's another one, really quick to put together. Super quick. You can really go into detail with all of the embellishment if you want to, but keeping that simple. So let's see what we've got. I'll put my dies to the side and I'll tidy those up in a moment. And of course the lid on my glue too. So just to recap, we've got the perfect gatefolds, we've got butterfly, we've got heart, we've got star, a stray sequin there, and I've pulled the sequin on this one as well, so let's pop that back on. And then we've also got one which I haven't done with you today, is the flower as well, and I can see some really lovely floral designs going on inside there, 3D ones maybe you can use your foam, your flower forming foam, create those 3D flowers and then put little leaves on and such, and they all work absolutely perfectly with the wraps as well. So the wraps are created to go around these, as you can see with the word love there, that's on a wrap, so that slides off, and you can put your sentiment on top of the wrap, you can put your sentiments on the card, it's entirely up to you, but it's a lovely little collection that is just, again, going to give you those really quick and easy cards. I think that's it for me today already, so how are we doing? Yeah, I'm only 10 minutes over past anyway. So thank you so much everybody for joining me. I hope you all have a lovely Easter break, whether you are celebrating or not, even if you are working, whatever it may be. Fingers crossed the weather stays nice for us all, and I will be back the following Wednesday. So Wednesday next week. Seems like a long way away, doesn't it? But I hope you all get some crafting in as well. Go and check these out on CraftStash, as you can see there. The address is craftstash.co.uk or craftstash.us, depending on where you are in the world. And as always, don't forget, if you are a VIP, you get your 10% off, plus your double points and lots of extra additional benefits. And if you're not a VIP already, please do pop along and check out the details for that. So I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a lovely weekend, everybody, and thank you for joining again.